Hi, this is Diane Davis again, and I've gotten so many requests on how to make a wreath. I'm going to show you how today. And what we're going to do is something that everybody has, using something everyone has up in their closet or their attic, which is one of these. And you can get this at any craft store. You can get it at sometimes a dollar store, and they're really cheap. And we're going to turn this into this. Okay? So what we're going to do, the first thing you want to do is you want to decide, I'm going to move this guy over so we can work right here. Move him here. You want to decide how big you want to make this. If you want to make it like this, you're going to want to stretch all of this out all the way around. You can make it smaller, but we're going to shoot for having it fan out like that. So after you decide what size you want, the first thing you have to do is go find your greens. Now, how do you do that? Well, I'm on a tree farm, and yes, I have greens, but you don't have to be on a tree farm. You can go to your local tree lot, and you can get branches that are off the bottom of the tree like this. And they will gladly give these to you because they have to burn them or throw them away. And just ask if they have any branches lying around that people have cut off. And also, if you're in an area with tree farms, there's lots of free brush available. We give a lot of it away. So this is what we're going to use, and I've already cut some up, but you want to get some branches like this, and then you want to go to your yard and cut some. I cut a bunch of cedar. It can be boxwood, it can be leaves off any tree that you have, you know, because this is your wreath, and we're going to do a mixed greens. Another thing you can do is, if you go to your grocery store, they sell, you know, packets of greenery like this, which has cedar and lemon leaf and eucalyptus, and that's also great. We're going to do some of that too. So, okay, so the first thing you want to do is you've got to cut your greens a little bit. Now, I've cut some in this basket, but all you do is you take a branch like this, like you got at your local tree lot, and you just cut right close to the main stem, where you have a piece like that. And these pieces are not as useful because they're long, so we're going to go a little bit further down, and you just want to cut these off. And even if it's not a really good piece, like this piece is a little bit dry in here, it's still, you can use it, and you end up with things like this. And this is about the size we want. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, I pull a little bit of the stuff off the ends, is we're going to use this as our basis, because you're going to have one anchor type of greenery, and then the rest are going to fill in. And we're going to go from left to right, because that's how you read, and that's just the easiest way. So we'll start here, and I'm just going to just push it in there, and then you take one of these wired fronds and you just wrap it around. That's all you do. And if it's sticking out too much, you take another piece and anchor it to pull it on back. But I usually don't have to do that. And then you just keep going. You keep going with these big anchor pieces. And I do these first, so it's going to look a little bit sparse. Let me see if I can find a bigger one. And again, I'm just wrapping. You're just wrapping this frond, you know, this wire part around kind of the middle. Just something to hold it, and you'll know if it's going to come out. See, that's in there. That's not going to go anywhere. And let's see. And you just keep going. And you go a little bit toward the middle. And then you go, let me see if I can find a bigger piece here to work with. And here's this piece that will go on down. And then you go all the way around with this type of greenery. So I'm going to do that real quick, and we're going to come back. Okay, so we have most of our frame done. I've left kind of a couple of places just to show you. If you have any loose pieces like this, just make sure that you anchor them on the inside, and you just are going to wrap. And they don't have to be super tight, but it needs to be where you can't pull it out this way. And you want to step back from your wreath and make sure you've got a round, kind of round apart, and see I've got a little bit of a hole back over in this area. So I'm going to stick that in, and I'm going to feel around until I find a wire, part that's a wire. And if you run out of these, you can always use a little hot glue in there, and I do sometimes, but if you can find a wire frond, then that's a better way. Okay, so then one of the last things that you do, you save some really good pieces. You know, some pieces that just look pretty and fluffy, and I've got several here, and you're going to come and you're going to do some on top, like this. So we'll start here. And some of these I'm just barely wrapping it around because it's wire and it's going to stay. And we're going to cover that with other stuff. But and this piece is a little bit long, and you know, don't be afraid to, if you get a piece that's a little bit long like this, just cut it off. That's what we actually do on the tree farm when we're shearing trees. See, here's another part. You want to end with this good stuff, your good green, or your main greens, whatever you choose. And again, it can be something out of your yard, but your anchor greens, you want to have some on top. So we'll put this piece. Okay, and we could fill in a little bit more there, and I probably will with some other stuff, but now we're going to switch to a different kind of green. So I've got some lemon leaf here. I've got some seeded eucalyptus and some cedar, and I think I'm going to come in with we'll do the lemon leaf first. And lemon leaf you can get at your local florist, you can get at your grocery store. What I do is I go and I cut off bad leaves. That's kind of a funny piece right there, but that's okay. Now, what I do with the lemon leaf is I actually glue. Now I use lovely glue pots like this because they're fast. Just dip it. You can see these get a lot of use out here on the wreaths that we do. Just dip it, place it in, and press down. Make sure you're not pressing on the glue. It will burn you badly. And with the lemon leaf, that piece is in. I'm just going to I'm going to do another piece up here just because it needs a little thickening. We're just going to kind of go around in a circle. And you want to make sure, see if you can get your leaves to face all one way like that. Because that will help you if you can. We're just going to go around in a circle. And lemon leaf gives it just a little added that lighter green gives it just a little bit added punch. Now you can use something besides lemon leaf in your yard if you've got something that's a different texture, because that's all it is. It's just a a different texture of green. And if you're not sure it's in there, just do the very same thing. Just wrap one of those wire fronds around just a little bit more, and then you'll be sure that it's in there. Okay, this is a bigger piece. And this will be our last one that we do. And we're going to put it right there. Okay, now you want to come back with something else. I'm going to use seeded eucalyptus, which you can also get at a florist, at your grocery store. It just has a little different, texture to it. And again, we're going to glue. And we're going to come back kind of the same places that we were. Like this. Okay, and we'll be back in a minute. I've got a little bit of glue there. And we have our lemon leaf and our euc in there. And the last thing I'm going to do is some cedar. And also, again, step back from your wreath and take a look and see if there's some things like I see right in here that I don't really love. And you can glue these in too. Once you get the base wired in, you can start gluing the bigger pieces. So I'm going to do that, and what I'm doing is I'm just stripping down this wood stem just a little bit, and then I, dip it in our lovely glue pots, then hold it up and let the glue drip down a little. Just put it right in where I want it. And there we go. So the last thing I'm going to do is do just a little bit of cedar. Now we're going to come back in another video and do berries and cones and decorate and all that stuff. But here, if you see some pieces here that are showing, you just take a little bit of your cedar, and it could be something else. It doesn't have to be cedar. But I like cedar because it's kind of soft. And again, you strip away the bottom. Okay, so we're done. So we have our wreath, and if you turn it around and look at the back, you've got the fake wreath. Remember where we were before? But this is how we finished. And you can certainly do this. It's easy, it's inexpensive, and you just have to get started, and you can do it. Okay, we'll see you later.